Good morning to all of you. We welcome you all. We are Department of Mechanical Engineering, Government College of Engineering, Bodi Naikanu. We are going to present the video lecture on refrigeration and air conditioning paper for final year BE Mechanical Engineering students. Our team head is Professor M. Balamurugan and team members are Professor M. Sabha Karthik and Professor M. Vinod Kumar. The subject code of this paper is ME8071. Objective of this paper is to understand the underlying principles of operation in different refrigeration and air conditioning systems and components. To understand the hidden principles of operation in different refrigeration systems, we are going to see what is refrigeration system and the types, and also study what is air conditioning system and what are the types. The second objective of this paper is to see the design principles and design of refrigeration and air conditioning systems. Introduction. This is the syllabus for first unit. In this unit, we are going to see the introduction of refrigeration. That means what is refrigeration and unit of refrigeration and COP. COP means coefficient of performance. Ideal cycle. Ideal cycle means ideal cycle for refrigerating unit. And refrigerant desirable properties, classifications, nomenclature, ODP and GWP. Introduction to refrigeration. Refrigeration may be defined as the process of reducing and maintaining a temperature of a space or material below that of surrounding. That means we choose the thermodynamic system. Thermodynamic system means a space or material, and maintain the temperature of the thermodynamic system lower than the surrounding temperature or ambient temperature. This means refrigeration. We choose the object and maintain the temperature of the object lower than the surrounding. This refrigeration process is accomplished by removing heat from the body being refrigerated and transferred it to another body whose temperature is higher than that of the refrigerated body or space. It means we accomplish this refrigeration by removing the heat from the refrigerator space and transfer this heat into the surrounding. One of the most important application of refrigeration has been the preservation of perishable food products, food processing, packaging, storing and transportation of food items by storing them at lower temperatures. Refrigerator system also used extensively for providing thermal comfort to human being by means of air conditioning. Air conditioning refers to the treatment of air so as simultaneously control its temperature, moisture content, cleanliness, odor, circulation as required by the occupants. Air conditioning means simply condition the air, control the temperature of the air, moisture content of the air, cleanness of the air, odor of the air. This is air conditioning. The starting point of refrigeration and air conditioning unit is from second law of thermodynamics. In second law, there are two statements: Kelvin Planck statement, Clausius statement. Kelvin Planck statement is for direct heat engine. Clausius statement is for reversed heat engine. So we see the only Clausius statement. In this statement, state it is impossible to construct a device that operates in a cycle and produce no effect other than other than the transfer of heat from a cold body to hot body. It means it is impossible to construct a device. Device means the refrigerator device or heat pump or air conditioning device that operates in a cycle. That means within the refrigeration system there is the cyclic process, and the system produces the only effect of transfer the heat from the cold body to hot body. This is the classiest statement. Naturally, heat always flow from high temperature body to low temperature body. But in refrigerator unit, we transfer the heat from the low temperature body to high temperature body. In this case, we have supply additional energy to the refrigerating unit to transfer heat from low temperature body to high temperature body. This is the black diagram of reversed heat engine. In reversed heat engine, this is the hot reservoir. The temperature of the hot reservoir is TH. This is the refrigerating system. This is the low temperature reservoir. The temperature of the low temperature reservoir is TC. So in the refrigerator system, we supply the additional power to the refrigerating unit, and this refrigerating unit transfer the heat from low temperature body, low thermal reservoir to high temperature reservoir. So this is the reversed heat engine. Q dot is the amount of heat removed from the low temperature reservoir or refrigerator space. This TC means temperature of the low temperature reservoir is lower than surrounding temperature. This surrounding temperature TA. So the heat always flow from high temperature body to low temperature body. Here high temperature body is atmosphere. Atmosphere to refrigerator space, the heat always flow. The equal amount of heat is transferred from low temperature body to surrounding by the refrigerating unit and maintain the temperature of the refrigerator space lower than the surrounding. Unit of refrigeration. Unit of refrigeration means a ton of refrigeration. It describes the heat extraction capacity of refrigeration and air conditioning equipment or the rate of heat transfer that result in freezing. Simply, a ton of refrigeration describes the rate of heat removed from the refrigerator space per second. We define the ton of refrigeration. We define the ton of refrigeration by we take 100 kilogram of water at 0 degree Celsius and convert this 100 kilogram of water at 0 degree Celsius into 100 kilogram of ice cube. During this process, some amount of heat must be removed from water to convert water into ice cube. The amount of heat removed from water is equal to mass of water and latent heat of the water. Mass of water 1000 kilogram, latent heat of the water 336 kilojoule per kilogram. Totally 336,000 kilojoule amount of heat must be removed from water to transfer into solid phase in 24 hours. We divide this value by 24 hours and we get 1 ton equal to 3.5 kilowatt. Coefficient of performance. This is the performance parameter for reversed engine. In direct engine, we use the efficiency of the engine. So the coefficient of performance is the ratio of heat removed to work input. Heat removed means the amount of heat removed from the refrigerator space. And work input means amount of work supplied to the refrigerator system. The COP of a reversed heat engine cannot be infinity. That means the COP of a value cannot reach infinite value. That means in this formula, the denominator values cannot be 0. If you put 0, the COP value is infinity. So, in order to transfer heat from low temperature body to high temperature body, we must supply additional work for that heat transfer process. An informal and quite popular version of the statement is, a refrigerator does not work until it is turned on. That means the electrical energy is used to run the refrigerator. If we don't switch on the refrigerator, it doesn't work. That means in order to transfer heat from low temperature body to high temperature body, we use some additional power. Thank you. Good morning to all of you. I welcome you all. Today we are going to see the next topic of the first unit, ideal refrigeration cycle. In last class we saw what is refrigeration. Refrigeration means to maintain the temperature of the space or material lower than the surrounding. That is refrigeration. And the unit is called a refrigerating system. In this unit, there is the cyclic process. We are going to see what are the components within the refrigerating unit and the cycle. The ideal means, here in the topic, the ideal means there is no losses or neglect the losses. There is losses in the refrigeration cycle, friction, flow friction, heat transfer losses. Initially, we neglect all the losses and just study the ideal cycle. Basic components of refrigeration system. This is the black diagram of refrigerating system. Here evaporator. This is the space. We maintain the temperature of the body lower than the surrounding. One of the components evaporator. And compressor. Compressor, it is used to pressurize the refrigerant. And condenser, it is the phase change heat exchanger. So change this condenser change the phase of the refrigerant. Expansion device, the fourth component. In this diagram, QE is the evaporated heat. This much amount of heat is removed from the refrigerator space to maintain the temperature of the body lower than the surrounding. This QC is the amount of heat removed from the refrigerant to change the phase of the refrigerant from vapor phase to liquid phase. Then expansion device. The refrigeration cycle contains 4 major components: the compressor, condenser, expansion device and evaporator. Refrigerant remain piped between these 4 components and is contained in the refrigerator loop. So the 4 major components in the refrigerator unit is the compressor, condenser, expansion device and evaporator. The refrigerant, the liquid is transferred to all the components through the circuit. The first component of the refrigerant is the compressor. Compressor is the head of the refrigerating system. Simply, the compressor means compress the refrigerant. It only handles gaseous states. The power required for transmitting heat from low temperature space to high temperature space is given here. The power input of the refrigerator is the compressor. We give external electrical power to the compressor to compress the vapor. When refrigerant in vapor form passes through a compressor, it gets highly compressed, or simply the compressor pressurizes the refrigerant and its temperature also become very high. Simply the compressor is the power unit of the refrigerating system. It compresses the vapor refrigerant, increase the pressure and temperature of the vapor refrigerant. If we neglect the compressor, the second law of thermodynamics not valid. So compressor is the power unit. Next, the condenser. Condenser is a phase change heat exchanger. It is the heat exchanger. Transfer heat from one fluid to another. Condensation changes gas to a liquid form. That means the condenser changes the refrigerant phase from gas to liquid form. Its main purpose is to liquefy the refrigerant gas sucked by the compressor from the evaporator. As condensation begins, the heat will flow from the condenser into the air only if the condenser temperature is higher than that of the atmosphere. The second line of this slide is condenser is the heat exchanger. It transfers heat from hot fluid to cold fluid. In the condenser, hot fluid is the refrigerant. We take cold fluid as the water. So, if the water temperature must be less than the temperature of the refrigerant. This second line indicates that point. Only if condensation temperature is higher than that of the atmosphere, then only the vapor refrigerant converted into liquid form. The high pressure vapor in the condenser will be cooled to become a liquid refrigerant again, this time with a little heat. The liquid refrigerant will then flow from the condenser to liquid line. The third point of the slide is the high pressure vapor in the condenser cooled to a liquid refrigerant. So the high pressure vapor refrigerant converted into high pressure liquid refrigerant. So the heat extracted from the refrigerant and transferred to the cooling medium. Next, evaporator. It is also a phase change heat exchanger. It is the refrigerator space. In this space, we maintain the temperature of the body lower than the surrounding. In the evaporator, the refrigerant enter in the liquid form and absorb the heat from the refrigerator space, and this liquid refrigerant absorb the heat and transfer to the vapor stage. So this is the evaporator. An evaporator is used to turn any liquid material into gas. So like it is the phase change heat exchanger. In that point of the slide, in achieving heat transfer, the liquid refrigerant should be lower than the goods being cooled. That means the temperature of the liquid refrigerant must be lower than the temperature of the refrigerator space. Then only heat transfer from the refrigerator space to liquid refrigerant. After the transfer, liquid refrigerant is drawn by the compressor from the evaporator through a suction line. Liquid refrigerant will be in vapor form upon leaving the evaporator coil. So evaporator, it is the phase change heat exchanger. It transfers the phase of the refrigerant from liquid to vapor. The last component of the refrigerator is the expansion valve. It is placed before the evaporator and at the end of the liquid line. This expansion device reducing the pressure of the refrigerant and its temperature. This liquid refrigerant will pump to the evaporator. So the four major components of the refrigerator systems are evaporator, compressor, condenser, expansion device. TS diagram of a refrigeration cycle. So this is the TS diagram. The ideal vapor compression cycle consists of four processes. The ideal cycle consists of four processes. The first one is the isentropic compression. 1 to 2. The process 1 to 2 is isentropic compression. Here the process 1 to 2 isentropic compression. Compression means compress the vapor refrigerant or pressurize the vapor refrigerant. Isentropic means isentropic means entropy value is constant. The change in entropy is equal to 0. That means there is no friction and heat transfer from the point 1 to 2. The process 2 to 3, constant pressure heat rejection in the condenser. 2 to 3, constant pressure heat rejection in the condenser. In TS diagram, this is the constant pressure curve. In condenser, it is the heat exchanger, phase change heat exchanger. It cools the refrigerant from supersaturated state to saturation state and change the phase of the refrigerant from vapor to liquid. In TS diagram, this is the saturated liquid line and this is the saturated vapor line. This is the superheater zone. The temperature of the refrigerant decrease from superheated temperature to saturation temperature. At the same temperature, the refrigerant change from vapor phase to liquid phase. Process 3 to 4, throttling in an expansion valve. 3 to 4, ideal cycle we consider only 3 to 4 days. Ideal cycle, throttling process, it is the isentropic process, so no, the entropy value is constant. The change in entropy is equal to 0. So 3 to 4 straight line. And the last process 4 to 1, constant pressure heat addition in the evaporator. This is the 4 to 1 process, constant pressure heat addition process in the evaporator. That means we add the heat to the refrigerant. So this is the TS diagram of the refrigeration cycle. 1 to 2, isentropic compression process. 2 to 3, constant pressure heat rejection process. Heat rejection means heat rejected from the refrigerant to the surrounding. 3 to 4, throttling process. Enthalpy value is equal to 0. Without change in enthalpy, we reduce the pressure and temperature. 3 to 4, throttling process. 4 to 1, constant pressure heat rejection process. This is the TS diagram of the ideal refrigerator cycle. Thank you. Good morning to all of you. I welcome you all. Today we are going to see the topic of refrigerant and its types in the first unit. Refrigerant. A refrigerant is a substance or mixture, usually a fluid, used in heat pump and refrigeration cycle. It means refrigerant is a fluid. It may be a gas or vapor. It used in heat pump and refrigeration cycle. In most cycle, it undergoes phase transition from a liquid to gas and again gas to liquid. Primary and secondary refrigerants. Fluids suitable for refrigeration purpose can be classified into primary and secondary refrigerants. First one is the primary refrigerant. The primary refrigerants are those fluids which are used directly as a working fluid. It means primary refrigerant directly absorb the heat from the storage space and undergo a cycle. The next one is the secondary refrigerants. As the name implies, secondary refrigerants are those fluids which are used for transporting thermal energy from one location to other. It means the secondary refrigerants are first cooled by the primary refrigerant and they absorb the heat from the storage space. So the secondary refrigerants are also known as under the name of brines and antifreezers. Refrigerant selection criteria. Due to several environmental issues such as ozone layer depletion and global warming and availability of variety of refrigerant in the market, the selection of suitable refrigerant has become one of the most important issues in recent times. We follow the certain requirements to choose the refrigerant. The selection of a refrigerant for a particular application is based on the following requirements. The first requirement is thermodynamic and thermophysical properties of the refrigerant. And second requirement is environmental and safety properties of the refrigerant. Third requirement is economical point of refrigerant. The first requirement, thermodynamic and thermophysical properties. Here, the first requirement, suction pressure. At a given evaporated temperature, the saturation pressure should be above atmospheric for prevention of air or moisture ingress into the system and ease of leak detection. It means to avoid leakage of air from atmosphere into evaporator. For given evaporated temperature, the suction pressure should be greater than the atmospheric pressure. The second one is discharge pressure. At a given condenser temperature, the discharge pressure should be small as possible to allow lightweight construction of a compressor. If the discharge pressure is high, suction pressure is low. Suction pressure is high, discharge pressure is low. The work requirement is minimum. Third one is the pressure ratio. The pressure ratio should be small as possible for higher volumetric efficiency and low power consumption. Next, latent heat of vaporization of refrigerant. The latent heat of vaporization of the refrigerant value should be large as possible. It requires minimum amount of mass of refrigerant for cooling purpose. The next one is the isentropic index of compression. The isentropic index of compression value should be small as possible so that the temperature rise during compression will be minimum. So we should take minimum isentropic induction value. The next one is the liquid specific heat. It should be small so that the degree of subcooling will be large, it leading to smaller amount of flash gas at evaporator inlet. Vapor specific heat of refrigerant. This value should be large so that the degree of superheating will be small. The next one is thermal conductivity of the refrigerant. The thermal conductivity of the refrigerant in both liquid phase as well as vapor phase should be high for high heat transfer coefficients. The next one is the viscosity of the refrigerant. Viscosity of the refrigerant should be small in both liquid and vapor phases for smaller frictional pressure drops. Now another requirement is environmental and safety properties. Environment friendliness of the refrigerant is a major factor in deciding the usefulness of a particular refrigerant. The first environmental and safety property is ozone depletion potential. The ozone depletion potential of the refrigerant should be 0. The refrigerant should be a non-ozone depleting substance. Suppose if the refrigerant having non-zero ozone depletion potential value already been phased out or it will be phased out in near futures. So the ODP value should be 0. Since the ODP value depends mainly on the presence of chlorine or bromine in the refrigerant. Second one is the global warming potential. The refrigerant should have a low global warming potential value as possible to minimize the problem of global warming. The next one is the total equivalent warming index. This factor consider both direct and indirect contribution of refrigerants to the global warming. So here direct means the refrigerant leak into the atmosphere. Indirect means the power requirement of the refrigerating unit. So naturally refrigerant with a low value of total equivalent warming index are preferable from global warming point of view. Flammability. The refrigerants should preferably be non-flammable and non-explosive. The flammable refrigerant, special precautions should be taken to avoid accidents. Chemical stability. The refrigerant should be chemically stable as long as they are inside the refrigeration system. Economic properties. The refrigerant used should preferably be inexpensive and easily available. Thank you. I welcome you all. Today we are going to see the problems in refrigeration. So this is the first problem, the first basic problem. The capacity of a refrigerator is 200 ton of refrigeration when working between minus 6 degrees Celsius and 25 degrees Celsius. Determine the mass of the ice produced per day from water at 25 degrees Celsius. Also find the power required to drive the unit. Assume that the cycle operates on reversed Carnot cycle and latent heat of ice is 335 kilojoule per kilogram. So this is the simple problem. In the problem, they mention the capacity of the refrigerator. Capacity of the refrigerator means rate of heat removed from the refrigerator base per minute or per second. So they gave the capacity of the refrigerator in ton of refrigeration unit. So 200 ton of refrigeration working between minus 6 degrees Celsius and 25 degrees Celsius. So minus 6 degrees Celsius is the temperature of the cold reservoir. 25 degrees Celsius is the temperature of the hot reservoir. Determine the mass of ice produced per day from water at 25 degrees Celsius. So initially we have water, the water at 25 degrees Celsius. Also find the power required to drive the unit. Assume that the cycle operates on reversed Carnot cycle and latent heat of ice is 335 kilojoule per kilogram. So latent heat. This amount of heat must be removed to convert 1 kilogram of water into ice. So given data, refrigeration effect or refrigeration capacity of the refrigerator Q. So heat transfer rate 200 ton of refrigeration. The next data is temperature of the cold reservoir T2 equal to minus 6 degrees Celsius. We convert the unit of temperature from degrees Celsius to Kelvin. The temperature of the hot reservoir is T1 25 degrees Celsius and convert the unit into Kelvin. Initial temperature of water is 25 degrees Celsius. Latent heat of ice 335 kilojoule per kilogram. In the problem, we are going to calculate the refrigeration capacity in kilojoule per minute form or in watt form. So we have to convert the unit of refrigeration from ton of refrigeration to kilojoule per minute. So 200 ton of refrigeration is the refrigeration capacity of the refrigerator. So 1 ton of refrigeration equal to 210 kilojoule per minute. So we convert the unit of refrigeration from ton of refrigeration to kilojoule per minute. So we multiply the value by 210. And next, heat removed from 1 kilogram of water at 25 degrees Celsius to form a ice at 0 degrees Celsius. In order to convert water into ice, we should remove heat from the water. The amount of heat to be removed is mass of the water and specific heat of water, rise in temperature plus latent heat of water. So this much amount of heat we must remove from water to convert water into ice. So this is the mass of water, specific heat of water 4.187 kilojoule per kilogram, temperature rise 25 minus 0 degrees Celsius plus latent heat per kilogram. So the value is 439.7 kilojoule per kilogram. This much amount of heat must be removed to convert m kilogram of water into ice. Mass of ice produced. See, in this data, we just equate the refrigeration capacity equal to amount of heat must be removed to convert water into ice. So we equate the two equations and calculate the mass of ice produced per minute. 4200 refrigeration capacity in kilojoule per minute. 439.7. This much amount of heat must be removed to convert 1 kilogram of water into ice. So we divide this 42,000 by 439.7. We get 95.52. This much amount of mass of ice produced per minute. But in the question is determine the mass of the ice produced per day. So this is This value is per minute. So we multiply this value by 60 and 24 to calculate mass of ice produced per day. Next, power required to drive the unit. We know that C coefficient of performance of the reversed Carnot cycle. If we know the hot reservoir temperature and cool reservoir temperature, we can calculate the COP of the refrigerator cycle. So this COP equal to T2 by T1 minus T2. T2 is the cold reservoir temperature, T1 hot reservoir temperature. We substitute the value and find the COP in 8.6. So as per definition, COP is equal to the ratio of heat extraction capacity of the refrigerator to work input to the refrigerator or work done per minute. So work done per minute equal to, so we know the value in this formula, we know the value COP value, heat extraction capacity value. So we calculate the work done per minute. We substitute the value and find this much amount of work we must supply to the refrigerator to convert mass of ice into water. So power required to drive the unit in terms of what? So we convert kilojoule per minute into kilojoule per second. So multiple divided the value by 60. The power required to drive the unit is 81.4 kilowatt. So this is the basic problem in the refrigeration topic in the first unit. So initially they gave the refrigeration capacity and the temperature limits and calculate the power required to drive the unit and amount of mass of ice produced from the water. Initially in the water as 25 degrees Celsius. So we just understand what is given and what is asked. Then we know the basic concept. How much amount of heat must be removed to convert water into ice. And refrigeration capacity. We equate the both equation and calculate the mass of ice produced per minute. And we convert into per day. And we calculate the power by using the COP of the refrigerator. We use the formula and definition to calculate the COP. From the COP value, we know the work done value, work input of the refrigerator unit. Thank you.